Okay, so here's our GPT, Data Analyst Boston Marathon. This is a custom GPT that I created that helps me understand and analyze my training data, my running data. In this particular situation, I'm asking GPT to come up with a comprehensive analysis of my running from the past weeks, and I want GPT to extract key insights and takeaway from my data. So let's see how it goes. So let's read some of the stuff over here. It has broken down the analysis in different sections. The first section is training volume and intensity. GPT have analyzed that I've been building good endurance. I'm hovering around 530 to 550 minutes per kilometer, which suggests that I have a steady running rhythm. You can see that as well over here in my dashboards and the intensity that I've had in the past weeks. Talking about physiological metrics, GPT, it's giving me a positive observation in regards to my average heart rate. Also, talking about VO2 max, having 53 milliliters per kilometer per minute shows that I have an excellent range for my age and gender. And finally, you can read that my stress levels are relatively stable, which is of course great. It means that I'm balancing training with sufficient recovery. I think it's also because of the holiday season, of course. Now, if you take a look a little bit of my sleep, this has been a little bit inconsistent. So I should be aiming between 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, especially after intense training days. So I haven't been so great at that at the moment. So here are the key insights and recommendations from GPT Data Analyst. There are 5 things that has been covered here. The consistency of my pace. So this is something that it's commendable as I'm approaching, of course, the second training block. Integrating some tempo run would help me to have a faster pace. The maintenance of my VO2 max. So continuing the workouts that are keeping my VO2 max in excellent range. So maybe intervals and hill repeats can further improve this. Focus on recovery. So mostly talking about my sleep and hydration. These are 2 areas that can impact, of course, the quality of my training. I have to make sure that I'm getting enough hard workouts, but also balancing that with easy days so I don't get into overtraining. And then lastly, the monitor of my stress. So far I have a really good management of my stress, but of course keeping an eye on this metric. If my stress, of course, increases by the beginning of the year, can be an early sign that I'm also overtraining. Now, since I need to improve my sleeping patterns, for that, I basically extracted the data from the Garmin dashboard and just brought it back to the GPT Data Analyst. So here you can see all the different statistics that I have from the last 4 weeks. So GPT have broken down into sleep duration. My sleep times are varying, with the shortest being 5.5 hours and the longest 9 hours. But overall, the average sleep duration is approximately 7 hours, which is not bad. However, there is a noticeable variability in both my bedtime and my wake time, so it's a little bit inconsistent, which of course can disrupt my circadian rhythm and affect my sleep quality. So main insight, inconsistent patterns, and sufficient duration. So on several nights I achieved or exceeded the recommended 7-9 hours sleep, which is positive for recovery and performance. So my longest run so far has been 25.72 kilometers, which is a good indicator that I'm building a base for endurance. I've consistently logged distances above 10 kilometers, which is of course also excellent for marathon training. And I'm maintaining a running schedule that is quite regular, with a mix of short and long runs. My average pace is around 5:37 to 6 minutes per kilometer on most runs, which is a moderate pace for long distance running. And you can see here that my average heart rate stayed within a safe range, between 138 and 159 beats per minute. Overall, with all of these insights, some of the recommendations is to keep the consistency in my long runs, monitor my heart rate zones, make sure that I include enough recovery, especially after my longest runs. Well, GPT is already encouraging me to put some speed work there, but I'm not going to do it until block 2. And then of course, to increase my running cadence, because higher cadence is often associated with better efficiency and of course, reduce injury risk.
The big eye in the sky is always watching you, hearing everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever under surveillance, you can run but you can't hide. This is seek and destroy, only the strong survive. The big eye in the sky is always watching you, hearing everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever under surveillance, you can run but you can't hide. This is seek and destroy, only the strong survive. This a deadly combination that'll get you caught up quick. Don't let your eyes get bigger than your stomach. Greed will hold you back. Don't be greedy like that. Learn to give more. Man, it's tough when you've been poor. It's like you invisible and the whole world ignore. Starving pain, give a new meaning to the hunger game. I ain't the jealous type, but I want your watches and your rings. I know you think it's envy, might even call it lust, but I got pride and I'm angry. Stop killing us. We all need some healing and I got the antidote. I got the cure for hating, racism, and I'm dope. And on the real, this the illest line I ever wrote.
Now, these weeks haven't been that easy though. Even though I've been consistently hitting my marathon training schedule and running against the weather, I've experienced several challenges along the way. Business trips. There were days that I needed to pack my running gear and bring it along my work. Business trips have been challenging with late dinners, inconsistent sleeping times, and the crucial stack of staying hydrated while taking trains and planes. Sickness. Dealing with sickness and taking care of yourself is one thing, but when you have kids and they're also sick, that's a double problem. I had both, and it was a small step back catching a call for 3 days. Maybe you noticed that from the last video. They really helped me organize my runs. Oh man. I was feeling a bit off on a Saturday, but still, I went for my long run. 22K. In hindsight, I don't think it was a good decision. Still, I was able to remain in bed the next 2 days, fully recover, and then go back to running. And of course, family time during these seasons. Family is first. I plan my running around my family and not the other way around. So, this pillar, by default, is always a challenge. Looking ahead, I'm entering the highest peak of running in this first block. So with all of this, you can expect that next time I will be diving even deeper into my training stats, how I adapt my training and mindset to a new year, to big life changes, and how we're getting closer to the closure of my first training block. This was episode 3. So there's so much I could have covered about my running, but today, the 31st of December, family commitments are just around the corner. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next videos, including some unexpected moments during my runs.
Hey, night. Oh man, it's dangerous running this early. Nine.
If you like what I've been up to so far, find my journey inspiring, or just like my content, hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel. See you in episode 4.
Big eye in the sky is always watching you, hearing everything you say, seeing everything you do. Forever under surveillance, you can run but you can't hide.